Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Friday morning. Hope everybody made it safe and all. And we're finishing up a pretty rough week, but we're glad to bring it to you. We had a video yesterday. We got a lot of stuff lined up today. We're going to be giving away some seafood and all kind of cool stuff. I got some interesting stories with some pictures some locals have sent. So anyway, let's get started with our weather. We're looking at high 85, low 71. Water temperature, check this out, it dropped another degree. It's down to 82. That's a 3-degree drop from the beginning of the week. What made it interesting, because when the hurricane came in, you'd think it'd be bringing in some warmer water from the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico, but it brought in some cool, I guess, somehow, but it's down to 81. So next week's going to be interesting to look at this water temperature. Our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. Our place called Bluntstown, reading about a 10-foot. It's, of course, on the way up. It's going to peak on out, too, by the weekend. But now this is a little shaky because all that rain is north of us now. It's going to really have an effect, according to how much rain they get up in that area. And the Choctawhatchee-Careville is at a 16-foot, and it should peak out by this weekend, too. So that'll be, again, according to how much rain they get up in Alabama on that end. So we'll just have to wait and see. Both rivers are going to be high, and it's going to be rising, okay? The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, looking at Friday, September the 18th, and we, again, really strong tides. Really weak tides. I'm looking at next week. Next weekend is going to be good. I'm already looking forward to next weekend. This weekend, I'm not looking forward to because it's just going to be pretty rough everywhere we go. But we're looking at next weekend is going to be good. The wind today will be coming at a north-northwest, which is good. We need some of that at 9 miles per hour. We need it to dry things off. So we hopefully, I know everybody's soil was just soaking and just permeated with moisture. So hopefully it'll settle down a little bit now as we get on into the weekend. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. First thing I want to do, I want to give a tribute. You know, we lose folks at all times and all, and I want to give a special tribute to some outdoorsmen when we lose them. And this young man here, Mike Helms, we lost Mike Helms last week. Mike Helms was an outdoorsman, the consummate outdoorsman. And I knew Mike, he started down at C&G. Mike is a guy on the lower right-hand corner. Scott Lindsay sent me this picture, and this was Mike in his younger days. And this was on a diving trip, but Mike he just passed away. He fought cancer hard, and anyway, I talked to him not too long ago. But I want to tell you what he did outdoors. What made him legendary, really. He worked with Ronnie Groom as a young man. He was side by side with Ronnie in the diving business. He was one of the top divers after Ronnie, and Ronnie got him going. He did all kind of diving. That picture there, the big Warsaw grouper. Can you imagine Mike getting him and bringing him up? And what they would do, they would fish a while, then they'd go diving, and that was in the heyday. But something else he did, he was great in archery, but he just loved the outdoors. But he and his buddy Ken Thomas, they were the first ones that I know of. I'm pretty sure I know this real well. They got together, and the two of them loved red fishing so much, and Ken grew up over there in East Bay. And they started going to Louisiana red fishing. They're the first ones from this area going over there to redfish. And now they didn't go over there and fish with a Cajun or a guide. They went over there themselves, and they would get in an old motel there, and they told me the story. And they'd stay there for a week and fish for the whole week. And they knew how to catch fish, but they learned the area, and they were the consummate, they did this years ago before anybody even thought about going to Louisiana to catch redfish. But what a great guy. We're sorry to lose him and all. I just want to give special tribute to Mike Helms, and he and Bill Allen were real close friends too. So I just wanted to mention that. Now, the next picture I want to show you. This is interesting, it's local now. Let's go to, let me see. I'd love for y'all to send these stories into them. I'm going to show you, check out this picture right here. Does this look, this is right here in East Bay. Look at that. Okay, now I want to tell you the story behind this. one of our viewers, one of our loyal viewers, he sent me an email. I'm going to read you the email because this is Mark Flick. I'm going to read it to you because this can happen to anyone. Hey, Winston, I remember you saying in the last 6 months, just be careful out there. These storms can sneak up on you anytime real quick. Y'all remember me saying that? Okay, Mark does too. It happened to me out in East Bay on Saturday afternoon, this past Saturday. Fishing was excellent, combined with a stubborn old man, me, combined with Mother Nature, don't care, results in a lesson learned. And it could have been the ultimate lesson. In other words, he was in danger. The older I get, I like traveling lighter and smaller. I appreciate the connection with nature more, but on the day that I chose to be stubborn, I would have taken my skiff if I'd known it was going to be that windy, because my skiff is heavier and had a bilge. I made a run for it. Okay, the storm came up. I made a run for it to the landing. Way too late. You know how we are. We're going to say one more cast. So I understand. We all understand where he's coming from. Okay, within a few seconds, the wind and waves changed so much that I had the opportunity to think about the John boat floating in thin air, flipping over on top of me, drinking brackish water, not too tasty, and what it's like to navigate in what felt like quicksand. Okay, what felt like quicksand combined with a brackish water blizzard. At least it was not cold. By then, I was just along for the ride. Whatever Mother Nature had in store, either sink, drown, or blown ashore, whatever she chose. Y'all know that feeling. We've all been in it a few times. Whatever the Mother Nature's going to do, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature, and this is where Mark was right there. I'm thankful she chose to blow me ashore. This paradise we're blessed to live in is awesome. It's full of outdoor opportunities and blessings. But I was reminded on Saturday, my first big reminder since Hurricane Michael, do not be stubborn, no matter how good the fishing is. Thought I'd share. Mark Flick, Greenhead. I'm going to show you the pictures again. He was lucky. He got blown ashore. And you can see it could have ended up in a tragedy. But Mark, and like so many of us, this has happened over and over again. And, you know, I understand about won't go along sometimes, going lightweight and then seeing that storm and thinking it's going to go around that way. You could put yourself in his shoes, and then you head for the hill, and the storm comes in just like that. So, Mark, thank you for sharing that with us and with our viewers, and glad you're okay. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, we get all kinds of things brought in and are sent to us, and we picked this one up. And we're talking about, we're going to finish one more story on boating safety. When the hurricane was coming in a couple of days ago, you know, people want to get out for thrill rides and do different things. Out in front of my house, there's always some jet skis. Check this out. This is in Choctawhatchee Bay. Check this out. This guy's out there for thrill, and here he is. He's going to go that way right there. Oh, wow. We'll watch it again. And I'm thinking he's okay. Okay, should have. Let me see if I can get it going again. Hold on. Let me see. Anyway, this is what happens. I've lost it. Oh, here we go. We're going to try to pick it up again. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Anyway, all right, okay. So what happened? You saw what happened. He went over the wave and then had it beaming the top up, and it was a bad situation. So anyway, I'm assuming the guy was okay. I haven't heard anything about it, but that was a thrill he wanted to do. And like I say, out in front of my house, they get on jet skis and all over. The surfers get in the pass. I saw was it Tuesday night, Wednesday night when the storm was here. Some surfers went missing. Well, one surfer went missing in the pass, and the Coast Guard found them, but the Coast Guard was searching for him, and several people was talking about it. Okay, so Wednesday we showed you the 10 bucks, the big bucks of the year, and I want to go ahead and try to finish that up this morning. and we were on 1, 2, 3, 4. We were on number 4, okay. But I wanted to go back to this guy right here, the Bad Weather Bruiser. This one right here. They hunt. Look at that first paragraph. It was just outside of town on a 30-acre parcel. So see that you don't have to have a huge piece of property. We got that buck, the number 3 buck, on just outside of town. And then we talked about Derek and what a good job he did. Right now, this is number 5. The good Lord blessed me with this buck in Jackson County. Hurricane Michael had devastated Jackson County the year before. 2 or 3 people. See, remember we talked about this is exactly what we said on the show, that the buck's going to get bigger because we didn't get to hunt after Hurricane Michael in 2018. So they really grew. So anyway, you got this, and he was very thankful. This is number 6 right here, and this guy just became obsessed with chasing this buck, and he said it like playing chess almost, but it was really a big one and all. Okay, and then this is number 7 right here, Joe Grimsley. I want to read. This is very interesting now because this is human nature. I want to read the first paragraph with me. I'm 60 years old. I was an avid hunter until I was in my mid-20s. I had given up hunting because I let somebody use my tree stand after I had worked it. I let him borrow it for a day, and he came out of the woods with a 23-point non-typical. It made me so upset that I put my guns away. Hadn't hunted since I was a young man. Now, isn't that something right there? So in 2018, my cousin talked me into coming back and starting again. I loved it. So anyway, he went to Appalachian Wildlife Management Area and bagged this one. Isn't that a great story? But I want you to read. Let's go down to the last paragraph on the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, it's a wonderful area to hunt. You got Billy and Charlie. Okay, that's our buddy Billy Grantham. You got Billy and Charlie working the gates. They make everybody feel like home. I took my granddaughter and daughter to hunt. It's a great place. So, what a good story there. All right, and good job, Billy Grantham. All right, this is number 8 right here. This was this is a good story. He hunted him out of deer stand. It was a cold front was coming through, and it was just a good hunt right there. And that was 100. You see the points, 134. But all of these deer are huge. Okay, and then this was number 9, I believe. Okay, this is another Jackson County buck, and this was a hot day. Okay, the day after Christmas. So you have a hot day and a cold day, and by that tide, number 8, this tide. Okay, and so here's number 10, the last one here. He found a shed. He found a shed on this one where he was working the shed, and he had a piece of property, but he just hunted it, a couple of trail cameras. He knew it was a big buck, a 220-yard shot. That's a good shot right there. But guess where he got that one? Hillsborough County. Now, folks, you wouldn't think that would be a hot spot down in Hillsborough County, but that's a top 10 bucks. And as I read the stories, all of them were interesting, and there were some differences and some similarities. You know, remember one of them, that number 3 buck, was in really bad weather. They noticed he got out when it got 20 miles per hour wind, and yet that's almost you just don't hear that kind of stuff happening that much. But that's what it killed him in some really strong wind. And then a lot of others. One guy right there got him right in front of a front on a cold day. The deer after that was taken on a hot day. So, you just got to, like we always say, you just got to get out there and do it. But I appreciate Woods and Water taking time to get those stories like that, human interest, nature stories. But Jackson County had 4 out of the top 10. I was really surprised not to see one from Gadsden or Leon, and we had one from Madison. So, and the rest of them were in, Central Florida and South Florida, okay? And those guys come up here to get the big ones. Now, we're going to get ready. I've got a couple of other things. Let's get ready. Let's do some giveaways. With it being Friday, I think it's safe to get back outside now. And this will be the Los Antojitos, the $25. But let's add. We've got to add a name. Still add names, which is fine. Steve Notensmeyer from Freeport wrote a really nice email. I enjoyed the show. Thank you, Steve, for those kind words. Okay. And the winner of the $25 gift certificate, all the way from Vernon, Sonia Burke. All right. Now let's go to the $20 gift certificate from all the way down there at Tarpon Dock. And they're coming from Fountain Joy Melvin, the Melvin family. Now, a lot of those Melvin, good folks. I always enjoy being around those folks. And now the big red snapper, and remember those boats were, came in from the storms. They brought in a lot of seafood, brought in what they had. They'll be going back out, probably next day or two going back out. All right, big red snapper all the way from St. Andrews. How about Peyton Watson? We have Vernon, Fountain, and St. Andrews. Throughout the globe here in the Panhandle, we have viewers, and we're glad to help y'all out on that and run by and get them. Now remember, on the $25 gift certificate, just give me a text and send me your mailing address, and I will mail it to you. All right? We're going to take a break and come back with our forecast. All right, welcome back, and welcome to our famous Friday fishing forecast. And we talked about it all week. It wasn't going to look good anyway before the hurricane came in, but we need to take a look at what happens when we have some bad weather and all. We've talked about it before, right offshore, where the storm is just, Michael just did a devastating effect on a lot of the, like Mexico Beach artificial reefs and all, but that was a Category 5. This one was being a Category 2. And by the way, did y'all notice the track, how, again, they were just so uncertain where it was going. When he came into the Gulf, it was going straight for New Orleans. Then it's going to make a look, then maybe it's going to go toward Mississippi, and then toward maybe toward Biloxi or Mobile. Then they had Mobile was a bullseye. Well, where did it end up? Over there, right next to Pensacola. So, I mean, they just were not able to predict it, even as it almost got close. So, again, it's just sometimes we just really want to say, oh, it's going away from us, and all of a sudden you go to bed at night and wake up next morning and boom, it's getting closer. Anyway, with that being said, where would you go outdoors this weekend? Okay, the river's high. Let's talk about the bay system. One thing, it's going to be muddy. All the bay system is going to be muddy. Even not Apalachicola is usually muddy from the river and all, but the Choctawhatchee Bay, you saw the waves there with that boat going up in the air. Those waves, what they do is stir up that bottom. But on the bright side, what it does, it can concentrate the game, the bait fish in one area. So usually it's going to push those bait fish up on the northern shore. So right here in Choctawhatchee Bay, that wind's coming out of the south. So anywhere on the northern shoreline of Choctawhatchee Bay should be some good fishing around the bridge and all. Okay, so keep that in mind. The bait fish themselves, a lot of times they don't get a chance to hunker down like so many of the bigger fish do. Okay, with that being said, the same thing would happen over in St. Andrew Bay. And one of the top places to go as soon as it clears out is going to be, and I haven't been there in a while, Burnt Mill Creek and Crooked Creek. Okay, because that's going to be a lot of water runoff been coming in there, and so all the bugs and the clams and all that sort of going to be concentrated up on the north end. So keep that in mind. Also up at North Bay, over the North Shore. Then let's go down to St. Joe Bay. This is different now. St. Joe Bay. I'm just talking about locations today. St. Joe Bay sort of been blown out. The Highland View area. Okay, if you can put in there and fish the shoreline right there in the center of the screen there, that should be good. Keep in mind also, these redfish and trout, the big one's going to hunker down. And what they'll do, they're going to hunker down in the south end. They can feel the current and what's going on. So they're going to hunker down in the south end. Now we're going into the last weekend of scallop season. I don't anticipate that many scallopers out there. So if you get a chance to really get out and fish in St. Joe Bay, I would really focus on that south end here and come along the edges of the peninsula. Okay, and of course Apalachicola Bay, wow, it's going to be a mess, but you can catch some fish there. Again, back behind the St. George Island would be really good fishing there, location-wise. And then down to Carabel, our buddies down to Carabel, I need to give them a call. I'll call them this weekend to find out what's going on. I know they hunker down over there. They got some really strong weather too. But behind Dog Island, some of the big boats got behind Dog Island. I forgot to mention that last when a big storm come in. They'll come in and get behind Dog Island. Now, if I was going to fish Carabel, I'd go ahead and put in their sea quarters, and I would go straight across the Dog Island and fish behind Dog Island. It should be, that area right there, it should be really good fishing, and behind St. George Island, okay? Okay, now, let's go back to, come up here to St. Andrew Bay. The pass, the big redfish, we were talking about catching redfish at the pass. I talked to Scott the other day, and they went out. Scott's a good fisherman, and they were not catching the big bull reds like they normally do. This is before the storm. Now, after the storm, it's not going to be good this weekend, but this fall, the big redfish would be a place to catch those bull reds. If you have someone coming in town just wanting them to catch a big fish right there, right here in the pass, okay, on the outgoing tide, we've talked about it before, and the other place, of course, below, right there, from whatever the tide's doing, the Hathaway Bridge. If the tide's coming in, fish on the north side. If the tide's coming out, fish on the south side. And again, you can put in there a Carl Gray Park, and a lot of the kayakers they do this as a Friday night activity, and they do a good job with it. And then you saw the guy catching the redfish when his wife wanted to go just go look at the water. He took his rod and reel with him, and he just wanted to catch some redfish. So, it's, even with bad weather and all, you still can do good stuff. Fresh water. The lake should be good. Seminole and Talquin, they should be good in spots. We're going to have some muddy creeks and some muddy rivers for a little while, especially with stuff happening north of us. So overall, we're not looking at a great weekend of fishing. So maybe work on your tree stand or your food plots and get everything set up and cameras and all set up. But for you diehards, I know some of y'all going out. Bridge fishing should be okay. Lynn Haven Bridge, East Bay, over there in East Bay. I'm going to wrap it up for the week. What a week, okay? What a year. They all have a great day today. Help out your fellow man and enjoy the outdoors as much as you can, and God bless.
Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.